and then it'll pop up a YouTube window that I have to immediately close, or actually, I just need to mute it. That's what I need to do. Sign in if you've been granted access to this video. Oh yeah, I can see us all now. And I've got my tab muted, so I'm not going to get a weird feedback. And now I'm going to go on X and tell everyone, hey, we're up live. Wait, I didn't meet you guys though. You can hear me, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I can hear you just fine. Yeah, hey. This is lovely. It's like every single time we do it, it's just like we're starting fresh again. Hey everybody.
Like every time's like the first time.
That's where I want to be in life. Every time is the first time.
It makes things more exciting, yeah.
It does.
Oh,
It does. We have our so guys, we got Tesla Trekker. Should we call you by your real name now?
I guess I haven't done the rebranding yet. We'll just go. We'll stick with Tracker for
All
now.
right, we'll go with Trekker. We got Trekker here. We got the Great Maspy here, and you got Cantonese Cat. Yeah. We're gonna talk about maybe Tesla, NVIDIA, Palantir, talking about the everything rally, IWM, and then also talking about Bitcoin, and then we're probably gonna do some lightning round after that. So let's do it. Who wants to start?
Woohoo! Uh,
Trekker, you're
oh
the
my
Tesla Trekker.
God.
You're the Tesla Trekker. Tesla Trekker starts.
Let me show you. I'll start with this window. Let's see. I gotta share my window. This is the wrong window. I swear, every time it's like the first time I've ever used Zoom.
We're so prepared.
Okay, sharing.
You
I
are
know,
so
right?
prepared. We've totally done this before.
All right, here we go. Sharing this screen here, my big old busy screen. Oh, and since I turned it off and brought it back on, it's reset all my views. But I've taken to, instead of just showing Tesla on my live chart, I just kind of like let it run all day.
Whoa,
I'm to watch. Now I'm kind of
whoa.
tracking all three of these guys.
I am so
Um,
confused right
re-
now.
reset the. Um,
You can't do this to me. I'm a cat. I get
okay, sorry.
distracted by collars and lights.
And I'm a fox.
Yeah,
Oh,
you are.
crazy like a fox. Wait, I don't want to eat smoke clouds. These are cool. I like these little setups. I can just like run through the different setups that I've got. So,
Yeah,
it really looks like Tesla. Uh, just from my view of it, like I don't have like the really lovely Gantt chart view like Matt does. I mean, even though I've got a Gantt chart in the background here, just kind of close in. It looks like it ran up, and it looks like it hit. Uh, it got just over the 618, my 618. This is off of the 138. I'm sorry, this is off the 101.81 low, the 300 high to the 138.80 low. Um, it got to 618, and then it stalled out and it couldn't get much over it. Tested back to it, couldn't get off of it. Tried to break out. It got to one. I'm sorry, it got to 271, and then just fell back through it. And then we had this little break, and it tried to get back. And it looks to me, it looks like it's really struggling to get higher than 61.8% fib, and it's just as likely to fall back down as it is. It seems more likely to me to fall back down than it is to go up. And so I've got this potential 61.8% retrace stack back to 207.45. And then my group, my live show and stuff, we look at the maximum pain all the time. And max pain for options this week is 220. There's just a whole bunch of green on the right. Like people bought calls all the way up into the 400s for this Friday, and then it sweeps back. And then there's a lot of overlap between the puts on the left and the calls on the right. I'm just kind of doing it in my head. I don't actually have. Maybe I could pull it up actually. Wait, I do have it right. Where is that picture? Here it is. Right here. Just have to move this there,
207.45, huh?
there.
Mm.
So you still think it's going to go back down to below
It just
below
seems
200?
it seems as likely to go
Yeah.
down as it is to go up.
We do have some potential support above it, like if you have the GAN, you can look at like there's an arc right there. So who knows? I mean, it's possible. But
Here's the stupid options chart. So max pain is here at 220, or at least it was earlier today. And so you can see people like were buying calls all up to 475, expiring this Friday. But like you can see, by and large, there's clusters, of course, are in the more tenable range, all the way down to 155. With this much overlap, it usually means that the max pain is accurate. When there's very little overlap and like there's just red to the left and green to the right, and that thing can just slide all over the place. You never know what you're going to get. But this one seems
so
doable.
so 220 seems like it's the confluent zone between for the max pain. Maybe.
Yeah. So I've
Yeah.
got 220 for this Friday, and then if we get to 220, it'll just keep going. I've got 207.45 for those 618.
Mm.
So 220 on Friday, and then like lower next week, and then we'll have to see because well, on my chart, 207.45 brings us right back to the top of this my big triangle here.
Mm.
So we could get a bounce off of it, or a penetration. Penetration won't be good because that'll just mean more and more and more support testing. But if we bounce off of it, that'll look great.
I
And
don't like penetration.
that's me for Tesla. Do you want to do all three or just like one? Do you want to do one at a time?
It's up to you. I would like to be able to share screen though, Tracker.
Sure. I mean, basically,
One day.
One
everything
day.
looks like it's in the same purview here, right? NVIDIA looks like it also
Hmm.
it failed to get over. This is like a major 382. This is a
Yeah.
huge. It failed to quite reach it and
Hmm.
fell back, and it's been just making lower highs and lower lows, and it looks really weak. It looks like it's definitely going to go to 119.
Yeah. In the short term, it does look
In
weaker.
the
Yeah.
short term. In the long term, we're still very bullish on it. This would
Yeah.
just be, like a healthy pullback. This would be a
Yeah.
healthy pullback for Tesla.
Yeah.
This would be a healthy pullback for NVIDIA. And Palantir, same thing. This one isn't going to pull back as far. If it gets a full ABC 618, as I read it, gets us back to $26, versus if it could make a higher high and just keep going up and not fall into the same pattern as these two.
Yeah.
Like we could see 3138. So I've been trying to do this thing. I've got this cone of probability, and I've been showing like, well, from where price is now, there's an 11% upside chance and 8% downside chance. So people can look at that and then decide based on their own position what their risk reward is for how they want to handle it from there. That's what I'm doing lately. Different.
Yeah.
Giving
That's
people,
fair. I mean, you see a lot of very similar things, maybe a little bit overextended and cool down.
yeah.
Yeah. Tracker, can you enable screen sharing for us?
I think is it. I think I had it already enabled. Is it not working for you? I
No,
busted in. No,
No,
it's
not
not.
yet. It's a tracker show today.
it's
Oh,
a tracker morning show again.
all over again. Use the oh,
Is
looks like
Zoom acting up on you?
yes.
Yeah.
Multiple participants can share simultaneously. Oh,
Yes,
did
we
you
are
get
now
your recording?
simultaneous.
Did you start your recording?
Not yet. I
Okay.
can record now. Sorry, I missed the first part of it, but I can.
No, no worries. No worries.
Yeah,
This is just all short term. So
yeah, yeah. But no worries. Yeah. Great. I think it's pretty clear what your case is. In the short term, things look a little bit extended, and it's just backtracking down. Um, Metsbay. Oh, do you have anything else, Tracker,
Oh,
you want to show?
no, just the fact that like we 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 did. I had this long case right where
Yeah.
Go up into the triangle.
Yeah.
We have a one. We have a resistance trend on the top and a support
Mhm.
trend on the bottom.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with these triangles, it likes to fake out a breakout on one side, and then it could possibly run back to the other side and then try to do a breakout of the other side.
Yeah.
Not saying that has to happen this now, but having a test back to the top of this. See, look, it already kind of did. It tested to the top of it, went up. Now we're up
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that would actually, the 2075 would 45 would put us back in it. 229 would keep us on top of it. All
Mhm.
right, here, 230, 229. I don't know. That's all I got for now.
Okay. Thank you for
Cool.
sharing.
Sure.
Matt, you want to go?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. You guys can see my screen.
Wait.
I
Yes.
can see it
Yes,
now.
yes, I can see
Yes.
now.
Okay. So essentially, I have that fib still pulled up from the all-time high to that low in January 2023, and it's acting as a resistance, of course. And technically, I guess the 50% is not a real level. It's just the halfway point. So, but it's still very important, right? And you can see that it still hasn't closed a weekly candle above the 265.13, this to make a higher high officially. So we are still at resistance, and I want to see a weekly candle just basically like what we saw here, a bullish engulfing close above a resistance level, like all resistance levels really. I
Yeah.
want to see that again to close above here, and that would be confirmation that this new trading range, in my opinion, the 0.5 to the 618 would be established, and that would just go all the way up to the 295 zone, or possibly even wick above to 300, but we're not there yet. It's still at resistance, and what we're seeing really right now is pretty good support. And I made a post about the Bollinger Band today, how it might go down to the 242 zone, but it actually, now it's at 244.67, so it kind of almost got to that Bollinger Band to write it as support, so it could just keep writing it as support all the way up from the weeks to come, because it hasn't really broken below it yet. So I believe that could be the shorter term support, the top of the Bollinger Band, which currently is 244. And if that does break, then the 230 zone of like the 200-week moving average, like it's currently at 232.33, like that zone would be next down to like 230-ish, 232 to 230 or so. But so far, that top of the Bollinger Band is riding as support, so I don't really see that really slowing down as of yet, because every time it does dip, it just gets bought right back up. We can see it yesterday, and we saw it today as well. So essentially, I think short term we might not go too much lower, but if we do, there's a bunch of support below. And I think Max Payne does sit with what Tracker is saying too, around that 220 level, but he's saying maybe 207 is possible. But I think there's a lot of confluence showing that 220 should be good support, and that lines up with the 382 fib as well, right? And if we go to on my linear scale, oh, that's XRP. Don't worry about that little guy.
We know what you love. You just want to talk about XRP.
I swapped all my
And if
Doge to
we,
XRP,
yeah, see, all because of me. Thanks. You're welcome.
and it's doing great. Doing so good.
And yeah, we can talk about it later, I guess, in the lightning round. Um, and if we go back to the blue angle here, that also sits around, currently it sits around 230, right? Right here. So basically, I don't really see it going too much lower than this 230 zone. And I think even that 240, 244 area might be tough to break in the short term as well. So lots of support in this area. If it does get down there, I'm a huge buyer of that zone,
Yeah.
230 to 220. But I don't think it's going to get to the low 200s like what Tesla think or what Tracker thinks.
Well, look, so I'm just looking at your chart and I'm thinking that there are two tests here, right? The bullish engulfing candle blew through both your green Gann fan line and your golden
Yeah.
arc. So the first thing I'm thinking that would do is it would come back and try to make a perfect touch off of that green arc. I'm sorry, the green fan
The
line.
blue?
Yeah, the blue one. Sorry, it looks blue to
Yeah,
me. Um,
yeah.
but
It's light
if
blue
it
here.
if it just gets a toe under it, maybe we'll end up getting a perfect touch of the golden line
Yeah.
for support, and then it can break up and test the second golden line, the second golden arc.
Yeah, I think that it could be possible, but maybe later in time.
Gotcha.
Because I think there still could be some hype into earnings and into the taxi on 8.8. So we could probably get there first. I kind of am thinking it's
It's
gonna
not
go to
888 anymore. They
oh yeah,
up
it's 10.8,
it
yeah.
out to October.
Or October, yeah. But I still there's earnings still later, right? So I
Yep,
can still
earnings
see
coming up
some
next week.
momentum continuing up and then testing this, right? The top arc, maybe in like the 280s, maybe the 290s or wick above. But then that should be some bigger resistance. And you're also at that point, you're getting to these highs up here as well,
Yeah.
which probably would maybe come back down. And then possibly like that October event could be like a sell the news event and then retest it, right? Around the 230s and then continue higher, right?
Mm.
That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking up more first and then maybe lower later. But in the meantime, the rotation seems to be going into like small caps and some growth names and stuff like that. So I mean Tesla is a growth stock, so that's why, but it's also had a huge run before. So that's why
Yeah.
it's not really leading the market right now as well.
It led the market. Now it's done.
Yeah, it led the market for 1 week,
Yep.
for 2 weeks.
Welcome to Tesla.
Yeah, but I honestly think like 240-ish is probably as low as you're going to get for a while, and
All
it's
right.
probably just going to gravitate higher until earnings, and then either earnings will be spectacular and I'll break through, or it'll just be sell the news until like the robotaxi in October. Yeah.
Fair.
I
All
can
fair
see it.
points.
I for 2 days in a row have tried to buy into Tesla, and then every time I buy it, I guess I'm buying a resistance and it just dips back down. And I'm like, nope,
Yeah, like I don't
terrible.
want to add to my position just simply because I stick to my strategy. I don't buy resistance, right? And
Right.
currently the 0.5 is resistance, right? It hasn't broken resistance. These wicks don't count, right? So until there's like a candle that closes nicely above that 50% level, then I will not be adding to my position. I will definitely add down here at the 382, but I won't add right here until it gets flipped to support. So we'll see.
All right.
Fair.
I'm not
Yeah.
worried too much about FOMO. I just keep trying to play it with my followers and stuff. Uh, I'm doing pretty great on some other stocks that aren't Tesla right now.
Oh yeah, like the miners are killing it.
Like everything else.
Everything else. Basically, yeah.
If you just
Yeah.
had TNA, it would be doing nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I can show you mine real quick. It's not going to take
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
long. Yeah. You guys see mine?
Yep, it's coming up. There he is. We got it.
Okay, yeah. Monthly chart of Tesla. I started playing around with this like wave trend oscillator, basically, looking for crosses. Because I do see a lot of correlate like around here in this week, on this monthly cross over here that's bullish,
Mhm.
as opposed to this cross around here around like late 2019. I see a little bit of correlate. And you also just look at like a market structure. It looks like we just had like plummeting down and then like rock bottom and go up, right? And I think we have very similar kind of structure, plummeting down, rock bottom, and now we're really kind of on our way up. And this one's a little bit of a higher low, just like the price is a higher low, right? So I do think that, over a longer term, I think something great is probably happening. In the
Mhm.
shorter term, just like you guys saying, it's a little bit uncertain because if you look at it weekly, it looks like things are a little bit overextended. It looks like even the wave trend oscillator is kind of getting a little bit exhausted, if you will. And I do want to point out, because I don't want to always be like a bull, I do want to point out, I do worry about a potential pattern over here. If you keep on forming these dojis,
Yeah.
the TriStar, I'm a little
Mm,
bit worried about that. But even if the TriStar end up playing out, it's just going to be short term because like you guys said, there's still a bunch of support underneath below. I think the lowest probably gets is maybe like, maybe to the cloud or maybe to the conversion line over here, which is going to be around like 220 to 225, 226 range, somewhere around there. And even though the wave trend also it looks like it's a little bit exhausted, like it doesn't matter because sometimes it can look a little exhausted and just keeps going up, right?
Yep.
So I do worry that this might be a little bit of like a tri-star kind of thing, and they might backtest the cloud before going up higher. Not worried, actually, I'm a little bit excited because I'm a little bit bored by the market. Actually, things just been
I saw that.
flying
I
up. And
saw you
like,
post that
okay,
this morning.
yeah,
It's so
like
boring making 20% a day. I know.
it's so boring. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing to do. Like all the setups are playing out. Like what's the next thing? It's so boring. So I do
Yeah.
think that Tesla might present some pretty exciting opportunity, maybe going back down a little before going up higher. That's what it's looking like it's doing, but I don't want to bet against it. Just like you said, it's on the Bollinger Band. It could potentially cool down back underneath the Bollinger Band and back test the weekly cloud. One reason why I don't think it's necessarily going to push back above, it's not just that, it's looking a little bit exhausted in the short term. It's also right at the Ichimoku cloud, right?
Yeah, that
On the top of
120.
Ichimoku cloud. So I think that it's going to be hard for us to push through it in July or maybe even August. It would be nice to see like push like that would be super bullish if you just end up not even seeing the cloud as resistant, just push through and just keep going higher. But I do want to have it maybe consolidate inside the cloud here a little bit, maybe towards even like to like 220s. That'd be nice. And then you have a bullish cross of the Tenkan and Kijun, and then pushing up higher. But longer term, like there's no doubt, like you look like you're about to have a bullish cross over here. You flipped the conversion line, tanking from resistance now to support. Like longer term, there's no doubt. I think Tesla's going to go a lot higher. It's just short term. I think there might be a little bit more sideways and pain. But this is Tesla. It doesn't have to do anything that we tell it to do. So that's
Tesla
pretty
don't
much all I
care.
have for that.
Like Honey Badger.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for that. And since I have the mic, I'm gonna go ahead and go with NVIDIA, and then I'll pass over to Matt to talk about NVIDIA. But NVIDIA is basically what I thought it was gonna do. It's just simply way outside the Tenkan. It's getting punished for it. You might have to correct through time. You just have to simply wait for the blue line, conversion line to catch up, or you go back down and back test it. That's what stocks do. They follow gravity. Like whenever it's just way too far above, you have to wait for like 6 months, get closer to Tengen before going up, right? Same thing over here, have a little bit of a wick underneath, get close to the conversion line before going up. Same thing over here, go sideways for 8 months before going up. I mean, I've shown you guys these things before. I just think that is still a little bit overextended. Looking at the wave trend also later, it also looks a little bit overextended. It looks like it might be like, starting to like roll over. But again, I think it's just going to go sideways here, maybe for a few months, maybe down a little bit, and then go up higher. And meanwhile, we have the great rotation that's happening. I don't have too much to talk about NVIDIA otherwise. I think weekly is not that overextended anymore. You do have a little bit of a bearish divergence here, right? That has to work out. It does look like it's a little bit exhausted in the short term. So it could go sideways for a little bit longer before going up higher. And that's just kind of how I see NVIDIA as playing out. Sorry, I can zoom in a little bit more. Price up, oscillator down, right? That's a pretty bearish divergence there. So it's just playing out longer term. It's still not exhausted. I mean, like I've shown you guys this before
Yeah, the monthly
with the
Bollinger.
monthly bull in
Ooh.
Japan. Let's see where it is at right now. Is it starting to kind of, oh no, it's starting to roll over a little bit, but it's still pointing down. So in the longer term, like it's still not exhausted. I'm not really worried about Nvidia crashing. I don't think this is the market top. You do have a little bit of like a nasty tweezer top looking thing here, but I mean, I don't really care. I think it's probably going to go up higher over time, but it might have to go sideways a little bit here longer. While I have the mic, I'm just going to talk about Palantir, and I'm going to hand over to Matt. Where's my Palantir chart? Palantir chart. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that it's probably just going to ride the upper Bollinger Band higher, and that's exactly what it's doing. It's just touching the upper Bollinger Band. It looks like it wants to continue up with the upper Bollinger Band. So I don't think price is going to get above like 29 and a half or 30. I don't think it's going to end up getting above that this month. But it looks like it's establishing a very nice trend after a rising three, like, type look. It's probably going to keep going up higher. You have a pretty strong resistance zone over here from, a few years ago. Price spent a long time over here. So once we're really truly big about like this current level over here, once price hit around like the 30s mark, I think like it's probably gonna be like hot knife through butter. It might go up a lot higher, and it can get pretty impulsive, which is kind of crazy to think about because it's already gone up a lot. But yeah, I don't have much else to say. I think it's still right at resistance. I think you're going to have a hard time just breaking through the monthly Bollinger Band here. You're probably going to need time for, to be on your side. On the weekly, I think the Bollinger Band expansion is already played out. Now that it's kind of outside the upper Bollinger Band for a few weeks in a row, you're starting to get a little bit of exhaustion. So we'll see if the area get to like about 30 and then maybe back test down here a little bit in the high 20s, and then it's just end up staying in the 30. I think it can like really fly, but we're not there.
Was it A that was saying that it tends to, he thinks it goes up $10, back to $5, up $10, back to $5.
Yeah, that's kind of what it does,
on
right?
the
Yeah,
5.
like from here to there, from here. Yeah, it's kind of what it does. So, all right, I'm gonna relinquish control. I'm done. I'm done hearing myself talk. I want Matt
I love hearing you talk.
to continue. I know you do. I love hearing you talk too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I know. But Matt, your fox
Showing the
face
audience
is up.
while he's getting his stuff ready.
My fox face.
I love his
All
fox
right.
face.
Are you making coffee? Is that what you're doing?
No, I already have it. It's in my hand. That was the problem.
No. I see.
Yeah, so this is my linear scale for NVIDIA, and it didn't really quite make it to that green level yet. So it might come back down and retest levels possibly, but like that would be maybe if the 120 level breaks, then I would see it coming down here. But currently, though, since the 120 level is holding, I think that could be some support to continue higher up to that 144 zone. But as we can see, the confluence of events down here from the 45-degree angle, the arcs, even the blue level down there in the 95s, like no matter if price comes back down here, or here, it's still a really bullish chart. And coming back even to 95 would still be like just a retest of the previous zone before it broke out, really, and the previous all-time high. And here on log scale, there's that 120 target, right here. It's
I like your
still
log
above it,
scale
right?
better.
Yeah, especially this confluence of the 45 and the bottom arc, like October 22, it nailed the bottom right there perfectly, right?
So pretty.
And here the blue level, it nailed it perfectly too as resistance, and then it finally broke above. Like it looks really good, and as long as this 120 level holds, I don't think it's going to go lower than that. But if it does break below, if there is a weekly candle that closes below, then the possibility to go back to like 110 or 100 or like even that 95 zone could be greater and greater. But again, it's still this green level, I think, will be a magnet for price regardless, because it's on its way to move it up to the next levels into the 200s, possibly 300s and beyond, right? And if you guys remember when I pulled a Fibonacci last time from the 2008 high to that low down there, right?
Yeah.
We can see that it
The
still
4618.
has a ways to go to the 3.618. Yeah, up here. So still around 160, I believe, is going to be the magnet for price in the shorter to midterm, not really long term. Probably by the end of this year, I would say it would get up to at least 160. And we'll see if that happens. But right now, the rotation is out of these bigger ones because they already had a big run and into the smaller ones. So we'll see how long that lasts. And we can talk about IWM, I guess, a little bit later to see if that's going to run out of steam or not. But before that, I guess I can show my Palantir chart.
Yes, please. I like how you say Fibonacci in Chinese, by the way. It sounds exactly like Fibonacci, but louder.
Is that I don't even know how to say it. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Fibonacci.
I remember you speaking Chinese and you're trying to say Fibonacci like Fibonacci. That was awesome.
Fibonacci.
I
I
loved
don't even
it.
know if that's correct.
Probably not, but who cares?
They say ice cream in Japanese, right? Ice
Oh. Say it again.
Well, in Chinese, it's Bing Jiling, so yeah.
Ice-crema.
Ice-crema.
Yeah, Cantonese is suiko. Oh, that's everybody's a little bit different.
All right, so here's Palantir on linear scale, and it's hitting that resistance angle perfectly. It even wicked above, which was obvious to me that it's resistance. And we know support is going to be that 50% level at around 25.50, but will it get back there? Nobody knows. I really think it might just gravitate to the 618 first, around $30. And after that, it might get some rejection and cool off for a little bit, but it basically was what, unchanged today. It did
Yeah.
get bought up pretty nicely from the lows, so that could indicate some strength into like the following weeks. Even though we've seen like all these green weekly candles in a row, it could be exhausting a little bit, but I don't think it's going to really break above this angle anytime soon. So if it just slowly rides it up, it could get to $30 in like August, right? August of maybe August 12th, August 19th, or something like that. So
That
after
might be
that, it might just cool off.
there might be a little bit of like a rolling overlook though, if it kind of just like get underneath the angle and
Yeah.
just hit that might look like it's exhausting a little bit, which is
Yes,
possible. Yeah.
Dang,
it is
dang it, Cat.
possible.
Now all I see is tri-stars everywhere.
Tri-stars don't have to work out, you know, like
No.
they don't, but
Feel like a first year medical student. Just with the tri-stars.
but yeah,
But
just
regardless of if this is like a meme stock or whatever, it's still in a trading range. It's $25.50 to $30. That is the range. I'm a buyer here. Maybe take profits here, but I don't really even want to take profits because I just want to accumulate right now. Because I think with
Yeah.
this rotation of everything, the biggest risk is probably selling too early. So
Yeah.
don't want to do that. And on log scale, it's very similar. This angle is very similar. So it could just keep going up until October or so, where this 35.50 zone meets the arc. So that is a possibility as well. But I don't think there's going to be like a million green candles in a row. So I think eventually it's going to run out of steam and consolidate a little bit, and probably at least like back test this zone here, which could be around like 26 or so. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm really bullish on this one long term. And the target still is that $100, right? Right up there. So I could go jump into IWM if you want.
yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying anything. I'm just nodding the entire time. So
IWM it.
So is IWM running out of steam? Dun dun dun.
I love the way you deep tease these things and then bring them back later.
So here it is. The great
Yeah.
debate that Tracker and I and Cantonese Cat had was around here, where you were a little bit bearish back then, weren't you, Steve?
I
Yeah.
thought, what if it just like breaks down below there?
it looks like it wants to. It looks like a rolling overlook to it. It's got the triangle look. You can go either way. Mystery, but yeah. But the overall is more higher lows than higher highs than like lower lows and lower highs. So yeah, broke up to the upside. The rest is history.
Yeah,
So
Now
it
that,
broke out. It's even breaking above the arc now. So if this week kind of closes above it, then there's confluence that this could be support, flip to support. And that confluence is that Fibonacci of the 3.618 from that time period down here, from the 2000, yeah, from the financial crisis high to the low, right? So there's confluence that this could be flipped to support depending on how this week closes. So I don't want to see a wick and just close back below, because then that would just be more consolidation down. But if this continues up throughout the week, then yeah, this 221 level might be a new buy territory for a continuation up to the previous all-time highs. And I'm really liking how it just did that in two bullish engulfing candles in a row.
yeah.
So we'll see if this momentum could change, or could continue, I should say. And if it does, then I don't think it's running out of steam at all. And even if you look to the left, like it could be a strong resistance zone right here, right? Just because of all this supply and whatnot, and prices back to that supply zone right up here, right? So it looks like it could be resistance zone, but we got to take into consideration again arc here and this 3.618. So this could be a confirmation that this could be a new support level, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And if we go to the log scale chart, it's got a ways to go, right? I even have my little arrows. It's got a ways to go to the arc, and the arc, if it was this week, the arc sits around 247, right? If it goes down further in time, it could be like 242 or whatever, which would be the previous all-time high. So I don't think it's just going to break the previous all-time all-time high in like one candle. It probably will consolidate a little bit before it breaks higher, but essentially both linear scale and log scale are showing the potential to keep going higher, that it's not really at a top, especially with the confluence of this zone holding as support and confirming it as support to continue higher for the next magnet of price to be around the 240 zone. So that's what I'm seeing.
Pretty cool.
Who's next?
Attractive. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, oh, and I forgot to mention, yes, the top up here is 485. So
Oh,
that's
thank
where
you.
it's going.
Yeah, it's
Not
totally
anytime soon. It could be it could be somewhere over. Oh, what's wrong with my arrow? Could be somewhere. Yes, this is what price is going to do, guys. It's going to go to the right and then to the then back in time. Yeah. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, it could be like 2026, it could be 2027, 28. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows when it's going to get there, but once this blue level was confirmed that it's support, it's going to keep going higher, and the ultimate target in the future is going to be 485, maybe within the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a nickname. I'm going to call you Michael J. Fox because you went back to the future.
I did go back to the future. Yeah, see, this is what charts do. They go up and then they go back in time, and then
I've
there
done
we
that
go.
before. It's like a broken arrow, just because like one too many points, and now we're stuck with it. Try to make it straight. Wouldn't let me just.
Oh,
delete
and this one
it.
goes like here too, like down here. Yeah.
All right, we're having fun here.
On with charts.
Fun with charts.
All right. Your turn, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, tracker, you, me, up to you.
You do the IWM.
I do the IWM. I'll do the IWM.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I want to play with here.
Got
my chart. Let me see what I can do while you're working on that.
Participants can now see my screen. You guys can see my screen. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jawohl.
Yeah. So the bottom line is this. Have we seen these kind of crazy bullish candles on a breakout to start a very strong bull market on IWM? The answer is yes. I'll show you. This candle right here around November 2020. Right? Really is like, cemented the whole bull market over there. This candle over here in November 2016 cemented a whole bull market over here for like 2 years. And then over here in January 2013, we had a gap up that has still not been filled, right? On the monthly. So there are examples, and this cemented a bull market for like really 3 years, right? So if you ask me whether or not we're overextended here on the monthly, yeah, I guess so. We're a little bit overextended from the Tenkan and the Kijun, or the, conversion in the baseline. Look at how nice it's been crossing, by the way. And they're both being pointed up right now. Basically, this candle is dragging the Tenkan and Kijun like all the way up. Initially, it looked like we might have had a little bit of a rollover, which is why tracker was worried. But hey, next thing you know, the trend oscillator just got dragged up by this candle. Has that happened before? Yeah, this candle here dragged up the oscillator. This candle over here, yeah, keep dragging the oscillator up. Like, if you ask me if this is exhausted in the longer term trend, based on looking at the morphology, based on how it looks in previous cycles, I think it might just be getting started, man.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. Like, if you're worried, if you look at the Bollinger Band, you're like, oh no, it's like on top of the Bollinger Band, it's outside of upper Bollinger Band. Well, what happened before that? It's outside of Bollinger Band. It just kept riding up, right?
It's pulling a Tesla right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's basically the liquidity pulling in is just insane. Like, this candle, it's like, okay, I gotta reject the upper Bollinger Band. That's it. It's going down further, right? No, I'm just going to keep expanding Bollinger Band up. Over here, gapped up, hit the upper Bollinger Band. No, I'm going to close a few candles above the upper Bollinger Band here and just keep going up. So I'm not really that worried in terms of it being overextended. I think it's just probably just got started. And if you look at the lower time frame, you're like, well, yeah, monthly doesn't look overextended, but weekly it is. Like, look at how outside the upper Bollinger Band it is, And I'm be like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Except if you look at like the COVID rally, like how many candles did close about the upper Bollinger Band? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one over here, the second one over here, closed out in space. So and it just kept going for how long? Once a bull trend starts, it's really hard to, to slow it down. And the same way goes for a downtrend too. If you have a candle that closed at the lower Bollinger Band, like the COVID crash, you're like, okay, that's it, right? That's it, right, guys? Nope, 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 nope. Like it doesn't, like, like the Bollinger Band, yeah, it can serve as a little bit of a cushion, but it doesn't have to be the end of the trend. Like same thing here around the where is it, the China trade conflict. You can see a lot of candles being closed underneath the Bollinger Band, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? Same thing around like 2015, 2016. This is a pretty bad bear market if you were there to witness it. You have a lot of candles that are just kind of closing on underneath, right? And when things get really bullish, like it doesn't have to care. It can just keep going up, and it can just keep on, getting overextended. And when things are go down, it can keep on going down. We've consolidated sideways for like 2 years. There's a lot of energy that's being built up and it's being released right now. It's squeezing pretty hard and it's being released right now. I think it's probably going to end up going higher. What about the daily? We closed how many days above the upper Bollinger Band? Like literally just like not even touching upper Bollinger Band. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 days so far. Has something like that happened in the past? Let's go back to the COVID. Let's go back to the COVID run up. Actually, I'm not seeing that much of that. Huh. All right, we're overextended, guys. We're done. No, actually, I wanted to show you the crash. That's what I was showing. Can we be having four candles up like we're having four candles down here and then just go sideways before going up further? I think it's entirely possible. That's what I was trying to show you. I'm not like you can stay overextended for a very long time. On that's what I'm trying to say. I don't. There's a little bit of bearish divergence here on the weekly too. Like I can totally see it correcting, going sideways, things like that before going up further. But like you asked me whether or not the bull trend's over, I think my answer is no. So oh, one more thing I want to show, the IWM over SPY chart. This is IWM over S&P 500. This is a monthly chart. You remember I was showing you guys about the bullish divergence that was building up.
I know
You
I
can
love
see,
I love when you do these views, these
yeah.
comparison views.
Yeah, I was talking about like how over here you have like a bearish divergence. No, I even drew it already. Yeah, you have a bearish divergence required with like IWM over SPY up initially for like a whole decade. Actually, IWM outperformed S&P 500, by the way. That really started flip around like 2014. That's when it underperforms, and that's what everybody remembers that IWM sucks. But yeah. But 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 you have very much of a bearish divergence over here. Things are exhausted and then plummeted for like 2 decades, right? Now you're building up a bullish divergence over here where the downtrend is starting to get exhausted.
Yep.
And you have a very nice bullish divergence that's being built up. The ratio is at the lower Bollinger Band is forming a tweezer bottom, is forming a bullish engulfing. So it at least wants to probably hit the mean, you know it might go beyond that, but at least it wants to go back to the mean and they might rally together. Maybe IWM sucks again. Maybe this chart will go down further. Who knows, right? But overall, I think that at least most likely, like IWM over the next couple months, at least going to retrace back to the mean. Even if it goes down, IWM and S&P 500 can go up together. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like I don't think that this is exhausted. I think there's a little bit of a character change of the market, if you will, and we're seeing it. And everybody's getting scared. Everybody's taking profit early, and I think they might end up regretting it. But I don't know. I'm just a cat. I don't give financial advice. I actually don't know anything. So
There's a comment about the Whaley breadth thrust. Basically, do you guys use that?
Nope.
heard about it. I know Jez probably know a lot more, but yeah, these quantitative stuff.
Yeah, I've never used it.
Yeah,
So therefore, I do not take it into consideration because I never used it. So,
you
but
don't
I
need it
mean,
though.
it's kind of obvious looking at the market that the breadth is expanding. So I think
Yeah,
that is confirmed,
yeah, and it's
right?
some pretty attractive breath too. It's not stinky breath. I like the breath. So
I
yeah,
got a
so
present
far
to
so great.
show you here. Speaking of market symmetry,
Yes,
all I did was I took this span of time
yeah.
from
Walter
here.
Deemer is like one of the OGs in the stock market space. Like he's he's got the whole like market psychology down. He's a great follow. I love following his stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm done talking about that.
That's okay. So I just took this and I flipped it. I mirrored it and flipped it.
You're doing like a matrix thing here. That's
Yeah.
pretty.
So you get this. Now we have two of them. I don't need two of them.
Now you're gonna have like
Thing.
multiple copies
Look,
of
look,
like
look
Mr.
how
Smith.
nicely it fits right there.
Are those fractals? Are you doing the blockchain vector thing? Taking
It's
fractals
I
and
literally
fractals?
just copied all the bars from here to here,
Interesting.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
a
flipped
fractal.
them around and I
Yeah.
mirrored them.
Yeah.
And it nests. It looks like it nests really well. Here's like this low point
Hmm.
right there.
Boom.
And look,
1
it comes
million.
right up to this GAN arc up here.
You just came up with that, right? Like
I
that
just,
just
I just, well, like I said, there was something on the chart that I saw on Matt's chart, and then I wanted to play with it over here, and this is what I was seeing, and so I wanted to play with it, and then here's the actual price action right here. You know, here we are at 224.60 right there, where these green dots are. Yeah, it just kind of looks like it wants to kind of matches up right here, and it just fits. It fits from this nook down here into this nook up here. 304.75 by July 2nd, 2025.
yeah. I mean, it looks like it would cut through that resistance level like butter. What you're showing the fractal is right, but it's it's a fractal. But the
I mean,
important thing is the target. Yeah.
if that happens, it's gonna be so great for crypto too. It's gonna be
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, wave three can be very powerful. That's it's it
Oh
can
yeah.
blow people's mind and change everybody's mind, and they all buy in. And next thing you know is wave five, and they get a little bit more reinforced. And next thing you know,
Oh, yeah. The other thing is like I did this flip here, but I already had these are my IWM chart lines. I had these before I did that flip. Like it would fit real good look right there.
So where
But
is
you're
your
oh, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Track the chart a little bit to the left so I can
Yeah,
see the
sure.
targets a little bit more. Yeah.
Let's see. I mean,
So you're okay.
let's just change it to a weekly chart, right? Oh, you don't need daily charts. Weekly charts.
Okay. So you're really talking about like 300 is going to be your first level, and you're kind of integrate with Matt potentially like in the upper 400s.
Yeah, 437 up. There's,
Yeah.
if it's wherever along this arc here, maybe
Yeah.
if it's kind of, maybe it stays under this GAN fan line, maybe
Yeah.
Big Crap were to have it right up here, maybe out here.
Yeah.
You just kind of
I,
like,
I'm yeah, I think I can see that totally over like maybe the next 5 to 10 years. I have a hard time seeing it this cycle within like the next um 18 to 24 months. I have a very hard time seeing that. But yeah.
I like that though. I want to kind of, this is the way I'm used to drawing these. I've drawn the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so many times. Yeah, it usually looks something like this.
So you're not bearish anymore. You don't think it's going lower. You think the bottom's in?
Yeah, the bottom's definitely in. Look, here's like the wave two right here. Let me just get this out of the way.
So wave three could be pretty powerful. So wave three could be a power bottom, maybe.
No
wave
comment,
two
man.
extended wider flat. Extended wider flat for the wave two. So the theory of alternation says that the wave four will be short. Who knows? Maybe we'll even get that. It'll extend a little higher. 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 7, 6. I don't know, something like that. Oh, yeah, I like the way this was. That looked really cool.
But yeah, I mean, like overall, I think you're seeing a bull trend, and the elite waves that you're drawing reflects that. So
Yeah.
yeah, the question is like how high it goes.
Well, I'm bullish on humanity. So as long as humanity doesn't destroy itself, it will just go on to infinity until, we don't
Yeah.
need money anymore.
Yeah, a dog, a cat, and a fox walks into the bar. We're all bullish on humanity.
Woohoo, bullish on humanity.
Yeah. Matt, you want to do
So
your
should we
Bitcoin thing?
Yeah, we could do Bitcoin, and there's a lot of interest about miners, it seems like too. So
Yeah, tons of it.
We're all
Yeah.
blown up.
we we can relate to that. Oh, somebody said the link is on X is broken for this
I
thing.
just copy and paste the link back over there. I just did that
Okay.
like 2 minutes ago. I don't know if it's you guys can retweet it if you want, but
So
um
I
Okay.
could do the same thing. I could copy.
but they really should just be subscribed to the channel anyway. So
Yeah, they get the notification. Ba-boom.
yes, get the
Right.
notifications. Yeah.
So here's my chart, the linear scale, the warning video that I put out about this is resistance and how it closed exactly at resistance last week. But this candle is shaping up to be really nice right now. And I mean, what I want to see is this to continue. And if that does continue, then the bull is back and no more caution, because then that's kind of confirmed this is going to be support. And then it had the exact symmetrical move, like I mentioned in that video, as that percentage, right? Here it went up 12%, right? And then here it went down 12%, just like I mentioned in that video from that orange line, right? So this might be the exact same scenario right there. So we'll see. We'll see how this week closes, but so far so good. And if it does close where it's at or higher, then yeah, then the next target will be back to this blue angle right up here, which kind of sits right now around 71,000-ish. And that'll be the next resistance. But if we can see like something like this candle right here, like a bullish engulfing candle just go straight above it, then that'll be confirmation enough to continue up to the 110 zone, 112 zone, or even up to the blue level here around 122. So that is going to be the target after this blue level breaks. And if that happens, then I think all of crypto will do very, very well, not just Bitcoin. And even the altcoins that have been underperforming, I think they will also do pretty well as well. So there's still 5 days exactly left, right, in the week. So we'll see how this candle ends up closing. But so far, so good. And it could be back to support right now. And on log scale here, it's also above my log scale level again, which that log scale level sits around 62,500. And if we can see that kind of marked the top before. So essentially it is flipping back to support as well. Which if that's the case, then the next level up here, of course, sits, at a casual $2 million. So, no big deal. But using the Fibonacci,
Fibonacci.
from this 2013 high to the 2015 low, we can see the 3.618 sits at 250,000. So once this level is flipped to support, and even if I take off the GAN, you can see how well those levels have been, right? How important they have been. The 2.272, it's been perfect on log scale. The 2.618,
Wow.
also a perfect support and resistance. This means price is going to gravitate to this 3.618, whether people like it or not. They can fight it all they want, but it's not going to matter, right? It's going to go to 250,000. So maybe my minimum target now is 250 instead of that 175, just because of how perfect this log scale Fibonacci extension has been, right? Just
Very
so
beautiful.
perfect. And you can even just see price. Like you look to the left of the chart, it's just perfectly on top of the previous all-time highs. Like when you zoom out like this, it seems like it's already flipped to support. So I don't understand how people could be bearish on Bitcoin really when it just looks so beautiful like this, you know? But that's that. Yeah. You guys can do your thing
Yeah,
on the
I
Bitcoin.
can jump in real quick, I suppose.
Okay.
Let me know you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see it.
Yep.
There's something called a Marubasu candle. A Marubasu candle is when it opens and it closes and there's like no wick at all. It's a very thick body candle.
Oh, that's what they call
And
it.
Thick bodies.
big bodies. And what is Bitcoin doing so far this week? I mean, granted, we're only 3 days into the week, but look at what it's doing right now. It looks like it's Marubazuing. potentially.
What's the significance of the Marubatsu candle?
Basically,
Bullish.
it's gonna be very much of a continuation. There's basically no wick, right? So at the opening and the close, it's the same. Sorry, at the opening and the close, it's basically where the entire body of the candle is, right? So there is a continuation of the trend. The trend is very, very strong.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it means.
It just means it filled up the whole week on the way up.
Exactly. So I don't know. It might end up waking, it might end up getting some rejection and stuff up here, and it might end up just being awake and close down underneath, which is entirely possible because right now we're pushing through a lot of, potential resistance level. On the weekly chart, you can see like the conversion lines right around 62, 1,748. So I can see it potentially be awake and just end up closing down underneath of that. If it doesn't do that though, if it ends up forming a Marubasu, then like man, like that's gonna be pretty crazy. I do think that it wants to go higher. I do think that on the um, wave trend oscillator, it does look like it wants to cross bullish. And I actually showed this chart earlier. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but it looks like basically the entire time. I'm going to change this to regular. Actually, I never really do that. Huh.
Oh,
Face.
oh,
Huh.
I know that
So
face.
if you like basically just line like again, this is not like a perfect line. Obviously, it end up breaking down underneath that a little bit. Um, I suck at drawing lines. Anyway, but the entire time like that, and even actually, I'm gonna go back to log. I like log better. I don't know. I regret now. Sorry, that was a waste of your time. I love wasting your time. So the entire thing right now is like you have an uptrend that has gone this way, right? And if you look at the wave trend oscillator, you can see almost like a perfect, um, you can also see like a perfect channel, if you will. And
Mhm.
we just bounce off from the bottom of the channel. If I can draw this thing correctly, I'm going to clone this. I'm going to drag it down, and I'm not going to change anything
Oh
too
yeah.
much. Yeah, you can see how it actually looks like it's just forming a channel, you know.
Yep.
And we hit the bottom of the channel. It looks like it wants to go up higher. It looks like we're
That
about
thing's
to
got
have
some
a cross like
traction
we did
now.
over here. Yeah. So I do think that this thing is probably going to end up like pushing up higher. And another thing too, I was just looking at this on the monthly on the Ichimoku. I really seriously think that this conversion line balance means something because it's riding up and it touched it. I really think it means something, kind of like how it meant something closer to here. Very similar morphology, you know. I do think that means something. I think because it's pointing up, I think it's probably gonna have some pretty decent bullish continuation moving forward. I still don't think that the trend has really started quite just yet. I still think that we don't have that monthly Bollinger Band expansion that happened quite just yet. That happened pretty much every single bull cycle. We haven't had that yet. So I still think that price didn't just consolidate here for like a year and a half for wells to accumulate just to end here. Like that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me. Plus, on top of that, I always like to use the I taught a little bit. I actually made a little bit of a video before I came on about like miners and MSTR things like that. I always like to look at comparison to what MSTR did last cycle and this cycle. By the
Yeah.
way, like both the Bollinger Band, MSTR, and Bitcoin, they're like squeezing hard. Like they look like they're about to blow. I
Oh
didn't really
yeah.
show that for Bitcoin. Look at that. Like looks like it's about to blow. It's right at resistance a little bit. It's like right underneath the Bullinger support band, but it's kind of reclaimed Bullinger support band a little bit. But it looks like it's really squeezing. And if MicroStrategy is any if is any clue, then I think it's going to squeeze to the upside. You know. And I still think that we're early to mid cycle. The reason why I say that is because if you just look at MicroStrategy itself, it looks very bullish, you know. And also, if you look at MicroStrategy over Bitcoin, it looks even more bullish. Like it looks like it wants to outperform Bitcoin. What happened last time when you had like February, I think it was February 2021, we had like that big exhaustive candle. Yeah, like when you have over here where it's just like completely exhausted, and then Bitcoin ended up making a higher high and around like November, like the strategy just ended up plummeting. Like Wells already knew that something was up, that Bitcoin wasn't going to go up that much higher. So they end up exiting like a leverage play like MicroStrategy and end up underperforming Bitcoin by a lot, right? Like you can see that underperforming Bitcoin by a lot. Even through like November 2021, like MicroStrategy just plummeted. here is a little bit of a different picture, you know? Like I think it's just he wants to keep going up higher. So I don't know. Like there are a lot of clues that tells me Bitcoin's going to end up doing pretty decent. So I want to share one more chart because I know Matt's probably going to go for Ethereum, but I do want to talk about Ethereum here. On the 2-week chart, like just look at how beautiful this 2-week chart is on the Ishimoku. And it hit like the baseline right there, had a rising 3 look to it. You have a bullish engulfing-ish kind of candle right now is reclaiming the conversion line. Just look at how beautiful this is, you know. So anyway, I'm done talking. I'm gonna relinquish the control here. Yeah.
You know, your
Otherwise, I'll
presentation.
keep rambling on.
No, that's great. Your presentation made me realize something, and that's that
Sure,
I
sure.
don't own enough Bitfarm.
Well, I think people don't own enough crypto in general because they are afraid because of the price action, but it's actually still holding support of everything, really.
Let's see, I've got 26,000 shares of Bitfarm. I need to buy some more.
Before we go to the lightning round, Tracker, do you have anything to show on Bitcoin, Bitfarms, or anything? Otherwise, I'm gonna play the lightning round music and let Matt go. So.
All I can, I feel like all I can do with Bitcoin is just pat myself on the back again for when I said this is the bottom, guys.
Yeah.
Um,
You
When
did,
I was
you did say
cautious,
that.
you guys were like, "You're stupid for being cautious, Matt." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
I'm like right here. We had this lovely trackers triangle, and then when price suddenly, without warning, broke underneath the tracker triangle, like this was we're working on a 1-2-1-2, and it broke really deep here, and it's like, oh, that is an Elliott wave overthrow, and what it does is just like you guys know these channel breakouts. I'm gonna go on a tangent for a second. Show me.
I love tangents.
No, not the fib channel. Just a regular channel.
Or 2069.
Where is the
What's going on
channel?
with that?
I guess it's lines. Here we go. So if you've got a price channel like this, and you've got price going into a channel, and it's like this. Whenever you see price, if it's been in a channel for a while, if you see it break one way, that is an indicator it's about to break out the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same way I look at these triangles. Since this was an unexpected breakout below, it just tells me that it's now going to go break out above. And it's heading this way. So as soon as I saw that 54, 296, and then it didn't take very long for it to show us indeed a higher low. Right, here's the low. It ran up and then ran back down, just like in one of my tracker triangles, but it stopped with a higher low. We got a higher high, higher low. It's like that's it. This thing's going. We're done. It's going up, and here we are. Oops, move that. I'm not sure if it'll retrace this deep. I was kind of playing around with this idea
Mm-hmm.
that maybe this could form another 1-2. Like here's a bottom and a 1-2, and so I might get rid of the 1-2-3-4-5s and just call this. Well, here I'll just do it right now.
Maybe your wave 3 should be longer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, wave 3 should always be the longest wave.
Yeah.
This thing's in the way. Hang on a second. The invisible
Not,
toolbar you can't see is in my way.
yeah. Not that I'm trying to like suggest anything about how to do Elliott waves. I know nothing. So
No, you're exactly right. It should be. So what if, oh, so the idea is if it did come down.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Let me do.
Look at your MCDX though. Like it's like all red.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
there's no retail.
Yeah, the bullish cross,
Yeah,
right
the bullish
here,
cross. Yeah, and it looks
and
like the momentum's
up
still to
and
the
away.
upside. Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is the 1-2 right here. 1-2 from here. That's a nice wick right there for a 2 bottom. You always want to look for a good wick on. If you get a wick on the 1 and the 2, that's
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah.
But you should at least get a wick on one of them, if not both of them. Maybe right there. So there's a 1-2. And so then this could lead us into, this is cool. It's the first time I've done this. I mean, you guys are watching me do this in real time. This is why I love winging it. 764, 382, 1382, 100%, 2382. There's a path to 90,000. And it could extend to
Yeah.
get to that. Is what I've got a different chart or a different version, a different view of this that says 110.
Mhm.
Yeah. This 1382, when you use this is the bottom. No, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. We'll use this as the bottom. Bottom, wave 1, wave 2, 764, 382, 1382 to 10,860. But this smaller degree thing I just drew here looks like a nice pathway up. And so again, yeah, this is like a smaller degree. Well, this is the large degree. This is like a really tight one too. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, if this is 1-2, yeah.
Yeah.
This is wave 3 sub 1, wave 3 sub 2, all of wave 3 sub 5, all of wave 4, all of wave 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then get rid of this thing just for
All right.
example. Okay, that's all I've got. I wasted enough of your time talking about
No,
that.
no, it's good. Yeah.
I get love looking at this stuff. Where is
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for my holdings. Bitfarms.
Bit farms. There you go.
Here's my Bitfarm chart. Yeah. And you can see it's also had the bullish cross right here, just like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And the red just like screaming up.
Yeah.
This is a
Yep.
4 hour. I should just do a day chart. Here we go, daily chart. I guess originally it was a 4 hour candlesticks chart. But yeah, I think this is what I drew when we did Bitfarms last time. This little bit here is just an A, B on the way, or it really should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the 1, 2, wave sub 3, 4, and then 5, make all of 1.
Makes
So I got
sense.
521
Yeah.
to 434 to 662 to 521 to 977. And my cost is $2.83 is my average cost basis.
I have a prediction for you. I think it's gonna blow your mind in terms of the price target.
Yes, please tell me.
In 2025, I think it's gonna go at least double digits. It's my guess.
That'll be awesome. I'll just
Yeah.
hang on to my
Yeah.
I'll hang on my
In
Bitfarm. I'm not selling stuff.
2025, you say?
Yeah. It's gonna go probably much higher. That's
I
my
do have
guess.
a.
Yeah, my Gann chart isn't that
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
You
what
can see
she
like
said.
the 4618 is 1855. 1855 for the 461.8% fib extension. Just keeps going and going. Yeah,
I
I
think
like
it might go higher than that.
the way this looks.
It might pleasantly surprise you because for like bit farms for stocks like this, I do linear. Sorry, I do log, and when you look at log, like you can see these things really behave like in the log world. Um, it's kind of crazy how they behave. So
Yeah, I'm so used to the linear charts.
yeah, yeah.
Even like
Try out charting it on log. I would like to see a log chart at some point.
the log fib, I just have to use a different set of numbers.
Yeah,
Pull them out.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
all right.
But I've been doing it for on linear for so long. I like these ones. I just
Yeah. I
really
want to see a log because I really do think that log may be more appropriate for like stocks like Bitfarm. You see what I'm saying? Like if you
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what? I'll have to do it on a different chart. I
Yeah.
won't do that. I won't take up your time working on that.
No worries. Yeah. I mean like yeah, maybe next
And,
time.
I do want to
do
say
yeah.
just a quick observation. Charts come in two flavors. You've got the ones where the wave 5 exceeds the previous. I mean, this is the all-time high up here. But you got the ones that exceed the all-time high in the first go, and the ones that fail the first go. And this one looks like it's ready to exceed in the first go, which is super, super duper bullish. In other words, my wave 5 top,
Yeah, it's gonna be right at the previous high there.
yeah, is going to blow over this high.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened here. People just got nuts. It's like it's the new sliced
Who
bread.
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, that's it. I'm relinquishing my screen share.
Thank you,
Well,
Tracker.
Sure.
Are we
somebody else
ready
about
for the music?
Nike.
You want to pull up your Matt, you want to pull up your
Music.
chart? I'm gonna play the music.
Yeah.
Well, should we do Nike first? Because
Oh yeah.
Is
Or
this
Nike.
gonna be a part of the
Wait, I got a Nike
lightning
chart.
round?
Wait. Now I have
Oh,
to
you
show
got
you
it.
He's
Nike.
got a
Okay,
Nike
we'll
chart.
hold the lightning round. You guys do Nike.
Yeah. Hold up.
I was so excited about the lightning round.
Don't worry. I know your heart's like really beating fast, and you're so excited. Just
There's nothing else I look forward to today.
I know
Oh.
you are the musician, so that is fantastic.
Okay, wait. I've got a
Yeah,
Nike
so-
chart. Hang on. Let me just type. Is it showing? No, it's not showing. I need to share.
Yeah,
There
Matt,
you
are you
go.
still
So-
shorting Nike?
No, it's too late.
I would no, not at these levels.
Too late.
I want to know.
It's not
Yeah.
Nike. Because I've charted it, the entire lifetime of Nike is right here. And what Nike just experienced is a generational, a lifetime correction. It reached its wave 5 peak and is in an ABC correction from its entire inception. Like you can see my 100% fib retracement goes back to the beginning of, Nike as an infant. And
And now it's a dead cat.
almost reached the 61.8%. 61.8% retracement is 666, and we're at 72.81. So there's only like, $6 left to short it on. And it won't probably, stay on 66 for very long before it just starts to go back up again.
Yeah.
Now it could be, dead cat bounce. Maybe Nike's over. Maybe this is the way the chart ends.
Dead fox bounce.
But I'm going to relinquish the control now. But this is what I've got for Nike. Don't short it anymore because we're almost done with the downturn. 66. Very easy number to remember.
You and so Tracker, I think Matt and I agree with you because we actually were joking on comments on Nike earlier on X, and we were saying, yeah, if it gets to the 60s, we might buy. So yeah, I think we're actually on the same page here. So
cool.
Yeah,
you can see it.
I can just show my log scale chart for Nike actually from the beginning of time.
Do it.
Just do it.
Do it. Just do it.
So yeah, my Nike chart here from the low of 1984, right there. You can see how gorgeous that is. It never got to the green level, this level up here. So I think it's still going to go higher, right? It's still probably going to go to the 200, and it's never tested this angle at all, and that's where it's headed. So I think I would short it maybe if it bounces back up to like 80, 81, 82, and then finally right here when it tests that angle, that's when maybe you enter for a long for continuation back up to 214, 215. So it's not, I don't think it's over at all because you can see like how well this blue level hit right there. And when you zoom in a little bit for the green level, it stayed there for like over a month, right? And then finally bullish engulfing candle up, right? So I think since it never really made it to this level, I think that's still going to be the target for Nike. So even though I'm bearish, like short to medium turn, like I think it's gonna just like go bounce back and forth and trend a little bit lower still until this angle is hit, and then finally it'll go. So that's what I think about Nike.
We get to 66. You just do it.
But also at the same time, just do.
Buy Nike.
But also at the same time, like this green level here has never been successfully back tested too, right? So if that angle ever was lost, then I would be like, yeah, short it all the way down until like 32, right? So there's two different scenarios here. If this angle holds the support, it's going higher. If it doesn't, it's going to 30. So those are the two options. No in between.
$4.50, but it never back tested $32. Well, maybe it did. I mean, if you look at that teeny tiny little space, right? And just before in 2013, just before 2014, there's a teeny, right in there. Isn't that like
Well,
a
I consider that still a resistance zone because you can
yeah,
see it wicked
resistance?
above. It
And
still
then it
is a
got
resistance zone right there.
the Gorazushi. What's it called? The candle that just continues on.
Wait,
I've
the
never heard
candle
of
that just cools off.
the candle that keeps going. It's like it's the entire it fills the entire
Oh, the Marubatsu. The Marubatsu candle.
Mangabatsu.
Is that
Yeah.
Japanese? Yeah.
It is Japanese. Yeah, these are all
Right.
Japanese candles. Yeah, I know I'm
Nice.
Cantonese, but you know. But
Yes. Well, so yeah, those are the options. Either it's going to 200 or 30.
thanks, Matt.
Two options.
That's like your repairman, like the window of time they're going to come to your house, right?
Like, yeah, I do think
Yeah.
that the downtrend is over soon, though. Like, I think the big part of it is because, like China wasn't doing very well and is reflecting on their numbers, but there's still like increasing, liquidity being injected in the Chinese market, and you can
But
see
yeah,
like the Chinese stocks are stabilizing, which we're not going to necessarily talk
Help me out on
about.
the fundamentals here. Is it because China buys the most Nike, or because China manufactures for Nike?
I
Is it a
think mostly
supply
the,
or
I think
demand
mostly the
problem?
buy, like consumerism,
Okay.
because they really are going through a very, very tough time, especially with their youth. There's like a lot of unemployment and things
Oh
like
no, it's
that. But
terrible in there right now.
yeah, there's still enough savings from like the older folks to be able to support like the younger generation. And there's like the one child policy for so long that like you don't have to worry about that the parents can support the child. But yeah, anyway, it's not good there. But we'll see
Yeah.
if their economy can recover, and like it will recover. So
Do you hear those stories about like Shanghai hotbedding, where you don't rent an apartment or you don't have roommates? You have
yeah.
like a one bed that two or three people use during a 24-hour period, and you rent the bed. You rent like an 8-hour slot in the bed.
Yeah, yeah, they have that in Japan too. Like these
Oh
are,
wow.
yeah, these things are available in Asia. Like they're very flexible. So yeah. Spaces are small, they make it work.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the
Well,
lightning round?
one last
Yeah.
thing, yeah, about the
Oh,
60, like right here, the previous level, the previous all-time
That's
high before
true. Yeah,
breakout.
look,
yeah,
That
that would
is
be not. Yeah,
6670.
yeah,
$68. Like I would buy at 68, I
yeah,
think.
Yeah.
yeah. I
That's
think
what I would
there's
do.
a possibility in my bottom there. To be honest, like if you
Yeah.
look at like the even the weekly, it looks like it's got some bottoming behavior to it. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
All right. Lightning round.
Right.
Right now to the lightning round. We're gonna have Matt talking about everything. Bye 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 bye. Sell.
It's Cantonese Kramer.
I love it. Yes, Candy's favorite cat.
It is alliteration, so it works.
It is.
Looks like we got a lot of people asking. So first of all, we have Toby here asking about Riot resistance levels. Yes. So Matt, what do you think about Riot?
So even though it's been doing quite well, it's still my least favorite one. Because of this resistance right here. Right. It's actually getting back to the blue level exactly. So we'll see how this week closes. And if it closes back above that blue line, then possibly it'll go back up to 14, 15 bucks. But with the confluence of the Ichimoku, we can see that there is the conversion line that sits right there at 1328. So I think right now it's like really in a good resistance zone with that blue line, with the baseline down here, and with that. So the week's not over yet, so let's see how it closes. If it closes above everything, then I'll be a lot more bullish for its way back to the top of the cloud into the 20s. So until that happens, I don't really, I like other ones better.
I
Yeah.
want to
So
show
Matt,
you.
you're showing the monthly chart. If you want to show the weekly too, I know I never asked for you to like switch from monthly to weekly, but it's like is right at the cloud resistance. It's right at the cloud resistance.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
and which kind of lines up with this too. So I think what is possible for this week is just probably closing back below this blue level. So I think it might close below 1222 because of this confluence right here. I don't think it's going to make it to the arc in this one weekly candle, the top arc. Yeah.
I want to show you one picture of Riot here. Can you see this? Can you see my chart?
No.
Riot. It's lifetime downtrend and it's just
yeah.
flatlining. I mean, they really hurt themselves by a lot of stock dilution.
The thing about Riot though, like okay, so Bitcoin doesn't come around until like 2008, right? They didn't really become a miner, I think, until maybe 2018-ish.
So this is when it became a minor.
So
And
all
after that,
that all that stuff is probably irrelevant. Like before, maybe before 2018, 2000, yeah, like all that stuff is probably irrelevant.
oh, okay. So I should
Yeah, because
just,
there used to be a different company doing different things. So
okay. Well, that's good to know. So now we're looking at it like from this standpoint, like starting from here, there. So three
yeah,
dollars
I don't
33,
want the riot army to get mad
three,
at us.
$3. Yeah, yeah. I'm with Matt though. There are other monitors I like a lot better than this.
You
Than
didn't
this
play the
chart.
music though, did you, Ken?
I did. Did I not? I can do it again.
Yeah, do it again since it's not really lightning anymore. Now it's gonna be lightning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I ruined it. I won't do it again.
No, it's fine. But
Go
yeah,
ahead. Go
I don't
ahead.
remember it. I guess I was too excited.
What
Okay.
else you want to talk about? Matt, let's put up.
Uh,
I asked, yeah. So somebody asked about Irene. We can talk about Irene. Margin call.
Oh, they got a
oh
margin
yeah,
call on
Iran.
IREN? No margin. Don't trade with margin. I mean, don't buy a huge position and hold it overnight in margin.
So Logtail Iron, yeah, I mentioned this in my recap on YouTube I did on Monday, and we can see that it's at resistance right here. So the reason why it's not breaking out like the other ones is because of this resistance level, even though it's above everything with the conversion line and the baseline of the Ichimoku on the weekly chart. But from this arc to that level, it's proven to be a big resistance, and so far it still is. So even though it's really bullish chart, there's other ones that are just breaking out right now, like CLSK, like Mara. Those ones are breaking out currently to continue higher, and like CIFR as well. That one just like soared.
Yeah. Do you think it would go sideways for? Do you think it would go sideways for like a couple more months before going up higher? Maybe getting close
Yeah,
to like the angle. Yeah.
I really see drifting towards this angle again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, down to sideways for maybe until like September, possibly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it's
choose
gonna
the ones
clean
that are just
spark.
breaking out.
Yeah. It's gonna clean spark. Basically that's what you're saying. And then clean sparks go to Irene. That's what you're that's what you're saying.
Well, yeah. So CLSK, it looks so
Yeah.
beautiful. Like, look at
Yeah.
how beautiful this chart does. It's breaking out. You were correct the whole time that this baseline was
Woohoo!
support cat,
Say that again.
and
Say that again.
so correct. It just made me so angry when I saw it break out now.
Correct, cat. Good cat.
No, but yeah, it's no, but yes. It's going higher, and the next level up here sits at 28. So I would not be taking profits until it gets to the arc. And eventually, I think it's going to the green level up top, which is 52. So this chart, it was really, really good, really, really bullish. There's going to be a little bit of resistance up in this zone here, just because when you can see this wick here and you look to the left of this chart, there's like the 20s, the lower 20s, these candles and these wicks up here. So there's going to be some resistance there before it probably breaks to the arc. But I think the momentum now is confirmed that it wants to go higher and higher with this bullish engulfing candle, as long as it continues the week like this. I don't want to just see a big long up top wick and then close back below that conversion line. That would be ugly. But as long as momentum for Bitcoin remains, the miners will do very well too. And Mara is another example. Breaking above the baseline, which is fantastic. And if that happens, if that continues, then it's going to the ARCs as well. $42,
Yeah.
maybe 43, and the green level sits at 52 as well. Almost identical price target for CLSK and Mara for the next level.
I mean, like they moved the same amount today too, 8.14% and 8.71%.
Yeah,
They're
they're
very
mirroring each
similar.
other. So
Yeah.
essentially, they're looking fantastic. And CIFR is the the other one.
Yeah.
It's breaking above my GAN level. Like, this is why it's breaking out, but it's at a resistance now of this angle. So
Yeah.
is it going to continue? Probably not. Not too much, unless like it just keeps going and this huge bullish engulfing candle just goes to like $8 this week. Then that could flip this angle to support to go up to the arcs here in the $10 range, or even the $12. So right now this angle is resistance, but we'll see how it closes the week. And this orange level has been a resistance for so long, since July of 2023, and now it's finally confirmed that it's not going to be resistance anymore, which kind of means like CIFR, it's got a ways to go for that next target. Like, look at that, $64 for the blue
Yeah.
level. Like, this might be one of the most bullish charts out of all of them, really, to
Oh
see
wow.
how it's breaking out.
I agree with
So
that.
I really like it. It could be my new favorite. So
Yeah.
we'll see how this week closes.
I could see it slowly grind up the angle to like 7.8 to $8 because I do think there's some previous history there from before the downtrend around that range. So I can see it like hitting around like 7.8 to 8 and then like maybe grind a little bit there and then probably gonna go up to like 10. That's gonna be the next step, which is gonna be like right there at the bottom of your arc right there. Yeah, I can see that happening. So
But the way this GAN level just got broken and flipped to support with this bullish
yeah.
engulfing, like up 44%, like there's
Yeah.
not much more confirmation you need than this kind of a candle right here. So
Yeah.
this is a super bullish chart.
Yeah.
One of the favorites.
It made it to my top 20 holdings like this week. It's just
Oh, nice.
without me doing anything. It's just like made up there. So yeah, it's
Oh, sweet.
yeah. I don't know if I would sell at resistance though. I can potentially see it just kind of grind the angle up. So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Yeah.
Well, usually when things break out like this, you don't really want to just sell right away because momentum,
Yeah.
it can carry.
Yeah. And it's also been like hidden underneath that 5 to 5.5 for like a whole year. You know, I think this has got a lot more runway to go up. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's absolutely
And
gorgeous.
it's gorgeous. Anything else here?
You know, I always like to talk about GME, but you know, do you want to talk about HUT? You know, yeah, you're kind of hovering around
Okay,
it,
we
but
can go to HUT first.
yeah,
Yeah, HUT is also breaking above a level.
yeah, that's
And
amazing.
also this is awesome too. The SMA, it's
Yeah,
breaking above the 200 week as well. So this is probably my second favorite one is HUT 8. And this one is going higher and higher and higher. And it doesn't really have any resistance besides like these candles right here. That's it.
yeah,
And then if it closes a week above like the 22, 23, then it's going back to this angle up here, which sits at 30, 31, 32, 33, wherever in time. But the next level does sit right here at $67 basically, which kind of coincides with these candles up here at the top. So yeah, a very bullish chart as well. But it looks like CIFR kind of has the same next level, so it has a lot more potential than this one because it's already at $20, where CIFR is still under $10, right? So, yeah, this chart is really bullish too. So there's lots of things showing Bitcoin is going to continue higher just by looking at the miners because they could be leading the
yeah,
way, right? Some are breaking out very nicely. So this is a good sign for crypto.
I love
yeah,
those. I love inferring one from the other. It's
Yeah.
my brain
yeah,
likes it.
yeah. We can do
And
GME, and then we can do maybe like crypto, or unless if there are any particular stocks you guys want to do.
yeah, I got some crypto I want to talk about too, but GME, yeah, holding that angle so perfectly. Uh, it's clear as day that it wants to go higher now.
Yeah.
And I think when we add back on that Ichimoku, there are some resistance levels up here with the conversion line now at 32.85 and the baseline at 37.39. But I think if it can break above those levels, then it will get back to the green level again at 65. So just maybe some resistance above. But I think you were mentioning something about GME too, weren't you, Kat?
Yeah, I mean, I was
On
basically
on
saying
X.
this looks like a bullish chart, like on a higher time frame and on a weekly time frame. Like your angle support basically just supported like my thesis that it's probably gonna go higher. And the
Yeah.
daily Bollinger Band was squeezing like super hard, and it looks like it wants to
Oh yeah,
maybe start to
I put the
expand.
cat in a jar and squeezy, man.
Yeah, you would do that. You're a cruel man. You would do that.
Hey, the cats do that to themselves.
Yeah, sure.
What was the name of that was like those that Japanese practice of putting like fruit inside of a container until it grows into the shape of the container, and then someone did like a Photoshop version of a cat in a container like that. Like a
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, like I've
that
seen
yeah.
watermelons like in squares and stuff. Yeah.
exactly they're like rectangular
Yeah.
cats.
No cats are harmed in this video, guys.
It's just Photoshop.
All right, so we can go into crypto. I wanted to show kind of something similar from Bitcoin to XRP right now, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
You and like
That's okay.
charting guy are like the two biggest XRP bulls I know. Like he's also
Yeah, well,
very bullish on
and
it.
blockchain backer is too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm gonna go back to this fib right here. right? So the 2013 fib to that 2015 low, you know, how it's gravitating to the 3.618 and how it's been, let me just take off these right here, and how it's been maintaining these extension levels so perfectly, like hitting them like spot on, right?
Yeah.
So if we use like the same fib from 2013 to 2014 for XRP, let's go to XRP now. Let's go here. So we'll take that off. Like, look, from the 2013 high to that low, we can see it's similar, right? It got up to the 2.272, and now it held the 1.618 perfectly at 40 cents, and that's why it never went lower. So it's basically confirming that this is now support, the 1.618, which means like it's going to go up to $3, right? It's going to happen whether people like it or not. And after that is a 2.618, and after that, see, Bitcoin's on its way to the 3.618, and the 3.618 here is like $180, right? So
Yeah.
Bitcoin can do it from the same extension. Does that not mean that XRP can do it too? I mean, it kind of means that, right? Like mathematically, it's not impossible. So like when I made that video about $250, like yeah, 180 is not 250, but it's basically on the way. It's pretty close. So it's like people are like, well, what about the market cap? What about this? What about that? Like, well, mathematically it's showing that it could be similar to Bitcoin. It's just lagging behind, right?
Yeah, and
Because
I
it's
pointed out the
the
fact that the XRP, the way that works is you start off with all the tokens you're ever going to have ever, and then with every transaction you burn some XRP, so that you get less and less of it the more it gets used.
yeah. So yeah, the more in demand it is, then the lesser the supply. And the liquidity that it has globally surpasses almost every other altcoin in the market now. So that is one reason why it can't really be replaced, right? You
I don't know. I
can't
think
like buy.
the PayPal coin might replace. I'm just kidding. I don't. Yeah.
But like buying $1 million of XRP is not going to be like buying $1 million of like, I don't know, some other coin. It would move the price a lot, right? Compared to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, I just want to show you that from the same Fibonacci extension levels as Bitcoin, Bitcoin's already on the way to the 3.618, and this one hasn't even got back to the 2.272 yet. But as we can see, 1.618 is support, and it's going to gravitate to at least $3 and then probably $8. So that'll probably be the minimum targets, really for XRP.
It's
But
waiting for its Bitcoin moment.
yeah, it's waiting for the Bitcoin. Like if Bitcoin can do it, so can XRP. Who cares about market
Yeah.
cap, especially with inflation, how everything doesn't really matter with money, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Somebody
see.
asked if Matt set GME to 10,000. Is that true?
I can go back there soon. Let's go
No,
find
it's
out. But
fine.
but I wanted to show this again before how symmetrical it's been. Like it's probably one of the most beautiful charts just by levels, right?
Hmm.
And the orange level has been so perfect, and the arcs in between the arcs has as the top arc has been resistance. It's never been broken ever really in history. And so once we get a confirmation, like a bullish engulfing candle to the top side of the arc, it's going to go. It's probably just going to just take off and be super exciting. But until that happens, not much is going to happen. And we're at the 58-cent zone right now. And on linear scale, that's exactly at resistance right here,
Mhm.
right? Exactly at resistance. So we need to break above that to continue up here into the 90s and to the dollar. But it's just super exciting looking at this chart. Like people are like, oh, XRP does nothing. Well, this chart says otherwise, right?
Hmm.
Do people not realize what this kind of gain was from this low right here? It was a 62,000% gain.
Right.
Like it hasn't done it. It hasn't done anything. Like give it a couple years to cool off, guys. It's not going to just go up 1,000,000% in like 5 years. Give it 8 years, 7 years to cool off, and that's exactly what it's doing. It's cooling off over that time period to break out higher. You know.
Wow.
So that's all I have on XRP, and that's why I'm bullish because this symmetry combined with the combined with the Fibonacci levels is just so perfect. And yeah, the next level here does sit at $30. So I think that could be very, very much achievable. Maybe not the $250 I talked about, but I think $30 could be the next target for it.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, Gary Gensler's friends have been accumulating for years, so I think it's
Yeah.
it's gonna do pretty well.
But you'll see me on X. Once this arc gets flipped to support, I'll be like XRP to the moon, baby. And then that's when it's gonna go to $3 and $5, $8, and maybe even $30. So I'm waiting for that day to this to get flipped around. I'm waiting for one of these cat right
Maybe
here.
right after the election.
All right. Well,
Maybe
you
this
know,
fall.
we're gonna yeah, that's okay, Michael J. Okay. Yeah.
I'm waiting for one of those, yeah, we'll see what happens, but
We got a couple
so
of chart requests, but do you want to do more other
Just a reminder, we're
cryptos?
making fun
Anything
of
else?
Michael J. as for Back to the Future, not for Parkinson's.
yes, Back to the Future, and because I'm a fox, and my avatar is a fox too. Get it? Yeah. Ha 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 ha. But wait, let's see GME real quick. Can you go to 10,000? Let's see. The top of my
Oh, nope.
box sits at 1,500 right now, so I don't know about 10,000. Sorry, guys. I destroyed your hopes and dreams. Oh, one thing I wanted to show is TAO. I love this chart now again. Love it so much.
I haven't heard
Like, look,
this
it got
name for
it,
a while. Yeah.
yeah, it got back
Wow.
above my blue level, and it's going back to the arc. So once he gets on top of this blue arc again, it's going back to 800. So yeah, it was just a little bit of a bear trap right here, just a
Yeah.
bear trap,
Hmm.
and now it's going to go higher. And just waiting for it to break above like 330, and then once it's 330, then it's going to consolidate and then go much, much higher again. And I think it's going to surpass this level, and the next level even sits around 2400, so I think it'll get there this cycle easily. So no fear about TAO at all. It looks fantastic. Somebody asked about CORZ, I guess.
Yeah. There's not much to chart, but you know,
Yeah, there's not much to chart, which I don't
yeah.
really talk about it much, but yeah, it broke the orange level, right? These
Yeah.
huge candles. So this is using the, yeah, log scale. And the next level does sit here around 32, but since it's too young, I can't really rely on GAN too much just because we don't really know if it's going to be symmetrical in the end. And I might have to change the scale or not, right? So we don't have much history to go off of there. But if you look at the Ichimoku and there's no SMAs at all. The Ichimoku, yeah, it's way above the conversion line. I think the baseline is just starting to form there at 721. So we can see that it's really far extended. So like $11, the conversion line is 775. So would I chase this? Probably not. I would maybe wait until it gets back down to like $9 if that happens. But I mean, if crypto and everything keeps going up, then yeah, this will probably go up to the ARCs too, around 15. So
Yeah.
I don't really have enough data for it for me to really want to trade it. So I like to trade things that have more obvious patterns. So that's
Yeah.
just me. Yeah.
No, I agree. Like if you look at the Bollinger Band, you're starting to see some Bollinger Band because it's been more than 20. So you're gonna see like
Yeah.
what it's doing. It's actually it was initially a little bit overextended, but it cooled down and now it's just inside the Bollinger Band. So it is a little bit too far over. What are you doing?
Uh, no, it's still going down, right?
Got
It's
it.
still going
Yeah,
down.
it's
Yeah.
hugely. I was like, what, were you like looking at targets at like 1,000?
No, 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 no.
No, but
Maybe
yeah, the
let's
lower
see.
Bollinger Band is all the way
Uh,
down, and the upper Bollinger Band
1,000
is
there.
still expanding. It's actually not overextended from the Bollinger Band standpoint on the weekly. It is a little bit too far away from the conversion line though. So, you know, it's a mixed bag. I don't know. Like I have other miners I feel safer to do, but CORZ is not a bad company. They just like kind of overextended themselves and got bankrupt
Yeah.
during the
Are
liquidity
they
crunch. So
still in bankruptcy negotiations to emerge from bankruptcy?
I'm not sure about the entire
I see May
story.
24th, 2023. Plan is currently being negotiated with key stakeholders, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. I don't see anything for 2024.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
here's MobileEye. I think somebody, yeah, Tyler asked about MobileEye. Here it is. There's really nothing exciting about it. All you need is the Ichimoku to tell you that it's not ready yet. It's above the baseline and the conversion line. So if it can start closing back above like $29, then maybe yeah, it'll go back to the cloud. But in the meantime, there's better charts to trade, in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks like it's just ranging like underneath the conversion and baseline. Yeah,
Yeah.
not
So
much to
there's
say about it right
nothing
now.
exciting about this chart at all.
Yeah.
There's
And then somebody
looks
asked
like
about Tracker's favorite EOSE and Dan's too, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah, I was going to ask you about if you had energy stock charts or not.
yeah.
Yeah,
So EOS
EOSE's
is
early days, I know for GAN.
yeah. So it's still early days as well, but that's the target I have, 290 basically for the first level. So we'll see if it gets there. But right now it's kind of getting rejected by the cloud, by the bottom of the cloud. It's closing. It's not closing, but still a couple more days left in the week. So, but so far it's below the leading span A. So it could come back down and retest the conversion and baseline there around $1.50. And if it does, then I think that'd be a good opportunity to probably buy and then continue higher to get to that level eventually, right? But it looks like with the way this candle is shaping up this week, that it is a temporary top, it looks like.
You could also find support there inside the cloud and just back test the bottom of the cloud and just go
Yeah, the
sideways.
week is not over yet, so
Yeah,
we'll see if it
yeah,
comes back up or if it goes down more. We'll see.
yeah. I mean, you can just go sideways and correct through time and wait for the conversion to catch up. That's also another alternative scenario. But yeah, it's a little bit overextended.
Yeah, and somebody
I've
has
got it as
COHR.
it had a nice start for a wave five. I don't think it's a wave five top yet. I think it's it's a wider extended flat of the wave four. And my wave five puts it at $2.91.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
kind of,
exactly 290.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is exactly where. Yeah,
yeah, it fell
yeah.
back.
So
Yeah, it
so
kind of had lift off of $1.78, and then it got stuck at the 243 high and then fell right back to all the way down to $1.78. I was hoping it would hold up
mhm.
at 209, but it didn't. It fell at 177.
So it's still possible that it's close inside the cloud this week and keep going up to your target. Like I think that's still a possibility before it really starts to correct. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
So here's Coherent Corp. Somebody asked about it. I don't have a GAN for it, but we don't really need one because we can just look to the left of the chart and see it's approaching some resistance up here with the previous all-time highs. And so essentially with these candles right here, that's kind of like a resistance zone around the 81, 82 zone. And then there's even more resistance going to be up here in the 90s, like 94, 95, all the way up to 100. So yeah, it had a lot of weekly candles that are green in a row. It is a bullish chart. It has some momentum to continue, but we need to realize that it's approaching previous all-time highs where it could be some resistance. And if we use the Bollinger Band, it is on the inside of it now, so it probably could continue up that way or get a little rejected to come back down to test some levels below. So let's just be careful. There's no reason to chase green candles, in my opinion. Like charts that just are breaking out right now are way more attractive to me than charts
yeah,
that I've just ran for weeks and weeks and weeks. So
yeah. I agree. If
that's
you
just me.
look at the previous all-time high as like a resistance level, there's not a whole lot of meat off the bone, I guess is what they say when it comes to
Yeah,
trading. But not that I'm a
that is
trader, but yeah.
Oh, this is
that is
that
true.
company that had the weird name. It used to be what, Roman numeral 2 stash Roman numeral VI, and now it's something that you can say in a sentence. Coherent
What?
Yeah,
Corporation. They have a coherent name now.
Great.
I don't know. Sounds good. Fun. Exciting. I
And
never
so
heard that
what,
before. That's
they
cool.
provide optical materials and semiconductors. Is this like a
Oh,
supplier for NVIDIA?
oh, that's why the chart's been going berserk. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay, and Amazon. So yeah, Amazon looks like it wants to retest the previous all-time high, right here, which may be like 188. So I think that would be a good place to re-enter in that zone
Mhm.
if somebody took profits up here. If not, there still is a rotation going on, so everybody needs to be aware that big caps are not really attractive right now. So it's best to follow the momentum, and the momentum currently is small caps and growth, and that is where the money is going for the meantime. So I think this is going to probably trend down just a little bit, but if it does get back down to like the 180s or even back down to the 170s, I think that would be a great area to accumulate.
Yeah, people would buy up Amazon. People would buy up NVIDIA. Like it's the lower it goes, the more attractive it is. And I can see where you're saying, buy at support would be something good to do. Which in this case,
Yeah.
you have a gain line right there. You have deconversion in the base underneath. Like you have like these clearly defined levels. Um,
Yeah.
and right now it's a little bit overextended. So yeah, I mean
Yeah, but
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, but the log scale charts does sit here at 340. So I mean
Yeah.
that is going to be the ultimate target in the end. And even no matter if you're not a trader, then there's no point in paying attention to day-to-day prices anyways. But
Yeah.
if you're a trader, then yeah, you want to pay attention. But it has the trajectory to go to the 310 beyond. So
It
yeah.
looks like it just wants to back test like on low volume on the previous all-time high level. Like it just looks like it wants to go down maybe another like $10 or something like that, and that
Yeah.
might be it.
Yeah, that might be.
But
I've got a question for you guys. How how do you know, or can you predict how long the this fresh cycle into small caps and growth stocks will last?
Well, all we got to do is go look at the IWM history that Kat already pointed out, and we can see like all of this right here. It was just like a huge wave higher, higher, right in 2021. And we're starting to see something similar to that right here. Even back here after COVID too, just went straight up.
All right, so
So
like
when the
280.
rotation happens, it can happen pretty fast.
yeah, we're at like IWM is very, very sensitive to global liquidity and rates. So if something changes, if people sniff it out, like they just end up gobbling it up. Like they've been avoiding it like a plague. Basically, that's what Wall Street does. They're just a bunch of sheeps. They just follow each other. They're not smart people. They just do what everybody else is doing. Oh, there are a few selected people like Stanley Druckenmiller, who's like super smart, who will like buy calls on IWM like weeks and months ahead of the ahead the breakout. And then there are like some dumb cats like me who like who gets into these high beta stocks thinking IWM is going to go and they're going to move in. And like I've been doing it for like months and months, and you know that. So whenever it goes, it goes. And you can have a lot of people missing the train, and there are a lot of people who jump off the train because the train's moving too fast. Like, I
It's a great
don't-
it's a great
like,
metaphor.
so I don't know what else to say about that.
All right,
SoFi.
SoFi TNC is asking about it. So Kat was 100% right about this one. I was not right at all. I was waiting for the sixes, the lower sixes, but I got too greedy. It never came. And my buy orders were meowed. Yes.
Oh,
If I
As you
was right
said.
about SoFi, if I was 100% right about SoFi, it would have been $14 in February. So I was
Oh,
wrong.
that's true. But like I saw the loss of this angle as a bearish thing to continue to at least test this one, but now it just broke above and it looks like it's retesting these resistance levels here in the past, and it's on its way to the arc here, which could be the upper eights, middle eights, or depending on time, like in the lower eights. But ultimately, $10 will be the target now that this blue angle is now back to support. So we'll see if that $10 comes. And where does your $14 sit in time? Well, it kind of sits where the arc, this blue arc and the angle meet here, maybe around November of 2024. What is that, election time? I don't know.
Yeah,
Lots of
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
confluence. So
Yeah,
we'll see if it could
interesting.
just like accelerate higher and higher. So we'll see.
Yeah,
But this recapture of this angle is good. And when we put on the Ichimoku, it's right at the
yeah,
baseline right now. So therefore,
yeah.
it's running into resistance, right? So could it come up to the bottom of the cloud? Yeah, it could, but that's still like just around $8. So there's not a lot of runway left for this resistance. So I think the probability is just consolidating more, going back and retesting that angle below in the
Mhm.
mid to low sevens to continue higher.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I don't think it's gonna push for like $8 like butter. I think it's probably gonna end up getting some resistance there. It probably would push through the baseline though. It probably would go to the cloud and probably get rejected at the bottom. That's
Yeah,
what I think. Yeah.
yeah.
But 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 I'm gonna say but three times just like you usually do. But if you look at the SoFi chart, it goes down the stairs and it rises up the elevator. That's what it does.
Oh
Y-
yeah.
Yeah,
A lot
it
of
go
charts do
yeah.
that, like IWM.
Yeah, which is like, you think about it, it's completely opposite of what people think about the stock market. It's like bears ride elevators down and bulls ride stairs up. No, not SoFi. It just keeps on riding the elevators up and then just keep taking the stairs. Like the bears are really hurting their knees on the way down and they get all battered on low volume. And then the next thing you know, like bulls just like, okay, that's all you got. You're doing this for like 6 months. All right, we're just gonna reverse everything in like a few candles. So
Oh yeah, and that's exactly what they did. Yeah.
yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I'm still buying this every week. I'm actually not at a loss anymore. So, you know, but
Congratulations. That's what DCA does, right?
yes,
It
that's what
makes
DCAing
you
does.
profit.
Yeah,
D locale.
I
I
have
don't
no
know what's
idea
that.
what that is. Delocal.
Terrible chart.
Yeah, reject. Yeah, a lot
Like,
of resistance underneath. Yeah,
yeah, I don't like this one at all. Not only that, market structure is bad. It's making lower lows, right? And it's even at an all-time low, and it just happened. So these are the
yeah,
charts you want to avoid unless you invert it, and then that looks great, right?
yeah. Well,
These are the charts you want to buy, guys. Like
Yeah.
look at
yeah.
this chart. See, it's going higher and higher, making higher highs. But when it looks like this, you don't want to buy that, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
actually, I was looking for like some bullish divergence, things like that. I'm not seeing it. Like even with RSI, and like I'm not
yeah,
seeing any bullish divergence for me to want to jump into it. So usually, actually, I take that back. On the monthly, there might be a little bit of bullish divergence with RSI, but there's no guarantee. Like things can keep going down on bullish divergence. But yeah, there's a little bit of
yeah,
bullish divergence that actually being built up on RSI. So I would not be surprised that it bottomed, but I would not bet my money on it that is bottomed. But I would
see,
not be surprised.
like a lot of people have the mentality to counter trend trade, which I don't understand that. It's like going to Vegas and you see like 17 reds in a row on roulette and you're like, it's gonna be black. It's like, no, it's like the same percentage odds like every single time,
Yeah.
right? It's it's not like it's just gonna miraculously change and be like bullish again, is what my point is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but on the other hand, if you flip the inverted chart again, this is how a lot of charts also top too. Like it looks like the trend is maybe a little bit exhausting. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. I actually would be a little bit worried like this cycle is over and might plummet at any time because like they just look at the previous highs and it just keeps on making some higher highs, but it's looking weaker and weaker compared to before. So I would actually
Yeah.
be like a little bit wary about that. So I would not be
Yeah.
surprised that it bottomed, but I would not count on it being bottom. I would not bet my money on
Yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, but my point is like there's no reason to bottom fish and try to catch a falling knife when there's so
Yeah.
many good looking charts out there, right?
Yeah.
It's like you want to gamble on this, fine, that's fine. As long as you realize it's gambling, because you don't
Yeah.
really know what it's going to do, but just to try to hope that this is going to turn around, it's just hope is not a strategy, really. It's not.
Yeah. I think when everything is going down, you can try to pick like the best knives to catch, which is what I was doing for like the last year or two. But now that
Oh
they're
yeah,
like really good looking charts, I don't think you really need to do that anymore. So
exactly.
yeah.
All right, we
But
got PayPal.
PayPal. And then I think that might be the last one for tonight. What do you think, guys?
Yeah,
I was
unless
going to
there's more
ask
crypto.
if Matt had an SMR chart.
Oh, an SMR. Yeah, maybe a good
Yeah, we
idea.
can we can do that, and then we can do yeah, and
So
then we'll probably call it
in the
night.
energy vein, we did EOSE and then look at the SMR if you have it, and NNE is
So here's
another
my
small nuclear.
PayPal. PayPal's right at resistance, really. Um, it's got the conversion line baseline, the cloud, then even more resistance with the angle above and the top of the cloud and all that stuff right there. And if we turn on the SMAs, it is breaking above the 50-week again, which is a good sign. So we'll see if that can hold and flip that to support. If so, it's going to go back in the cloud again and then test these levels above into the low to mid 60s. But there's still lots of resistance with the 100-week up there as well, around 68. So not really going to be super bullish about it until it can make maybe a higher high from this candle here around 68. So if it can close a weekly candle above 68.30, I think that'll be okay to continue higher.
Real quick, Matt, if you change to the monthly HE, Ichimoku. I want you to see the conversion line. It's really
Oh, yeah.
looked like it wants to flip it from resistance to support.
It already tried to that
Yeah,
once. Like, are we going to
yeah.
trust it this time? I mean, we could because it is making a
It's a
series
higher
of higher
low.
lows.
It's a higher low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Higher low, higher low, higher low. Yeah.
Yeah. And also
So it's
the
possible.
conversion looks like it's decelerating too. Like before that, the conversion looks like it was still kind of down sloping, so it didn't serve
Yeah.
as very good support. But now it's like flat. Like it really looks like it might want to do some trend change.
Yeah, I
But
see I see some potential there too. It looks like
yeah,
I can see an A, B, and a 1-2.
yeah.
Pretty good.
But regardless, there's still
Oh, 1-2,
resistance for the
1-2.
break above. Yeah, there's still a lot to prove. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, you're right.
All right.
That's
You
what.
wanted to see SMR?
Yeah, that's why I sold out of my PayPal, and I think I end up buying like Palantir and some minor stocks with it. So a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah. All right. Here's my SMR attempt with that low. First level was hit. Now it's breaking above. So it could gravitate to the arcs up here to the 18.75 or $21, $22. That zone, but this angle has been kind of support all the way up. So is there a possibility to come back down to retest it? Yes. But when I look at these log scale charts, we have to realize that the 45-degree angle is right here. So it hasn't even really got broken the first angle yet, right? And the longer we get through time, the more angles it breaks, right? So we need to realize that eventually this angle will break as a support and it'll be a resistance again, and so on and so forth. So it has had a lot of strength from the bottom, but I think when we look at the previous all-time high too, it's trying to close above it, right? This week.
Yeah.
It hasn't closed above it ever. So it's trying to do that right now. So if it does close above it, then I think there is momentum to go to like the 20s. But if it doesn't close above this maybe this 1585, and currently it's below that, then it might come back down to retest these levels down here into the 12s or 11s, right? So we need to be aware that this is important to close above this previous all-time high. So this is
Yeah.
the
And
week to do it. If it doesn't do it, then it's probably going to go lower.
in fact, that's what I've got on my chart right now is I'm looking for it to test back either to 1530. If it can't hold 1530, then maybe 14 question mark. But the 1618 is 1885. And I was hoping it might get to it can get above. Yeah, if I can get back above $10, or I'm sorry, back above 1660, if we can break that high, my target's 25.97, $26 for the 2382.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
No GANs land right there, but
no cancel
no GANs land. There's no GAN there.
But either way, I think yeah, it might be again. It's just like, is there still a lot of meat left to bone? You know, if you want to buy, you're expecting to go up to the arc there, or would that be worth the risk reward? You know, because it can also very well be potentially rejected from the previous all-time high and go back down to find support at like the conversion line and other places too. You know, that it's pretty far extended. So
yeah, I agree.
yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm
no
thinking like a
point in
trader.
chasing. Yeah,
I'm going to make a
just
note
like
here to to de-risk if it gets to 1885.
Yeah.
yeah. I just think
Yeah.
like retail gets really excited when things are at resistance. I've noticed that on my X posts. Like a lot of people are like, it's going everywhere, it's going to go higher. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things are going to continue going higher because they're not at resistance or they're just breaking resistance right now. Right. But when things are right at resistance, I think it's best to be a little bit cautious. And right now, with this previous all-time high, it's kind of at a resistance right now.
I'm bullish on your follower count though at the 10K resistance. I'm excited about that.
I was trying to get there before I left, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah.
No, yeah, we did a lot. That was
Yeah.
a good lightning round. That was a good session. Thanks so much, guys, as always.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kat, and thank you, Matt. Oh,
Yeah.
I love hanging out with you guys. My favorite thing to do once a week.
I know, like this is like something that I actually look forward to, as opposed to everything else. So thank you.
Oh, I love you guys. All right, well, we'll do it again next week. Well, or are we? I mean, Matt, are you gonna take some time off to hang out with
Yeah,
your
yeah,
brother?
I'll be in California, so I'll do it California time. But yeah, that'll be fun.
Cool. Well, man, bon voyage, safe trip. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
safe
sounds
trip,
good.
safe
back across the
travels.
pond.
Yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Hopefully you're on the flight, Bitcoin will do something crazy. So
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully when I land, it'll be like 2 million, right?
Yeah.
buy more.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
guys.
guys.
Have a
Have a
good
good
one.
one.
Right, oh,
Bye.
that's my cue to end the meeting. Hang on a second.
Yep.
Oh no,
Bye.
my screen just winked out. This is where you can end the recording anyway. There you go. Like, my okay.